Hi everyone, this is me Bhatt from University of Southern Queensland. Today I am here to present a presentation on a topic of gap adoption in Nepal's horticulture, status and drivers. I'll be covering what actually the gap is, why it is important in the horticultural sector of Nepal, and what are the major factors affecting the influence of gap in Nepal. So let's move ahead. The table of content of my presentation, I'll be starting with introduction and finishing with references. Let's begin my presentation with introduction. Agriculture is a major sector which employs more than 60% of Nepalese population directly. The data is extracted from the Chapagai et al. 2024. The same author suggests that horticulture alone contributes 30.94% of agricultural GDP. However, the horticultural faces numerous challenges in production. One of them is overuse of chemical pesticides that has led to food safety and export consequences. Maharjan, Gauchen and Lamisani also suggest that there are numerous impacts of application of chemicals on soil and environment, such as increasing acidity, low soil fertility, water pollution, air pollution, and many others. The issue such as the climate change, low productions, the overuse of the chemical pesticides, these all issues need a better approach to move ahead to increase the agricultural production to ensure the food security. Also, the Agriculture Development Strategy ADS aims to double the agricultural productivity by 2035. So, to achieve the productivity double, policies alone can't be enough. We need better practices. So, that's where gap comes in. Now, let's understand more what actually the gap is. FAO introduced this term in 2003. It is the set of guidelines for farming and food handling that ensure the agricultural products are safe and healthy. There are four major pillars of GAP. One is economic viability. Applying GAP, farmer can increase their crop yield and they can get better access to a market and they can increase their profit. Second, environmental stability. By adopting GAP, uh, so GAP is supposed to protect the environment, soil, water, and it helps to maintain the ecosystem balance. For example, implementing the crop rotation in a land helps to increase the soil organic matter content and increase the crop production. The third principle is social acceptability. GAP ensure the fair labor price to all the workers involved in the agriculture, and it also promotes the indigenous knowledge and the traditional crops. The fourth one is food safety and quality. GAP ensure that the produce or the product produced from the farm are free from contaminations. They are high in nutritional content and free from the microbial content too. Overall, GAP offers a roadmap for moving from traditional farming to a sustainable, professionalized agriculture in Nepal. So let's make GAP in the Nepalese context. GAP is introduced in Nepal in 2018. There are five modules or schemes in Nepal's GAP scheme. They are presented in the slides. These all five schemes models make the Nepal GAP scheme. DFTQC is a body that look after the certification and the accreditation in the GAP system. Despite the DFTQC, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development (MOALD) and FAO are also involved in the implementation of GAP. FAO provide technical guidelines, guidance in the implementation of GAP. Also, the GAP is uh, aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal of Nepal. Nepal have committed to the Sustainable Development Goal. It is well aligned with the SDG goal. It is also aligned with the food safety policy of Nepal. It is also well aligned with the Agriculture Development Strategy ADS 2015-2035. So, looking all these policies and issues, good agricultural practices is very much important in the context of Nepal to increase the agricultural production, to ensure the food security in the country, and to solve all the existing problem. GAP is pretty much essential. Let's talk what a GAP offers. GC 2015 document that producer get higher profit, consumer get shape crop or the high quality crop that is free from microbial contamination. Government um, have also global commitment so that producing a high quality food helps in the export. Traders are also benefited by the implementing gap. It helps in the strengthen global trade, build trust in the supply chain. Similarly, Dorje from et al. 2016 suggests that there is increase in the crop yield by implementation gap in Bhutan by 27.5%. Bairagi Mishra Giri documented that there is 31% reduction in the chemical use in Nepal after the adopting GAP. Kharel Dahal and Rahul Raut documented that there is increase in soil matter content from 3.32% to 3.77% in the 3-year period in the middle of Nepal. Despite all these well documented benefits, now let's have a look what is the status of horticultural sector and gap adoption in Nepal. So even though the Nepal GAP is introduced in 2018, the adoption of GAP is limited to a crop specific or region specific. In some areas such as Sengja, 46% of farmers have adopted GAP. According to the Joshi, Colony and Tiwari 2020 suggests that 87.4% of the farmers do not meet basic soil management practices. Similarly, same authors have suggested that gap application score is 0.51. That means half of the good agricultural practices are only adopted. Major research articles highlights that the post-harvest handling and documentation is pretty much weak in Nepal. It is estimated that there is 20 to 30% post-harvest loss in Nepal's horticultural sector. Another major issue of adoption of gap in Nepal is the awareness and technical support. Due to the poor technical support and low awareness, farmers are hesitant to adopt the new technologies such as gap. Overall, adoption of gap in Nepal is not well documented of the whole country. However, regional and crop specific research suggests that gap adoption is in the very much early stage in Nepal. Now let's talk about the factors that are affecting the adoption of gap. Socioeconomic characteristic. Various socioeconomic characteristics such as age. The farmers who have more age are less likely to adopt the good agriculture practices. Similarly, income level. The farmer with the higher income level are more likely to adopt the new technologies such as good agriculture practices. Similarly, education level and awareness also affect the adoption of gap. The farmer with the higher education level or higher income level are more likely to adopt the good agriculture practices and other new technology in the gap. Talking about information and extension services, Nepal government sector cover only 30% extension service in Nepal. That means there is very poor extension service in Nepal, due to which the farmers are unable to get information regarding these type of the models or the practices while cultivating the crop. So without the information, farmer cannot adapt the new agricultural practices and they rely on more of conventional practices. Market and economic factor. The market sector of Nepal is not well organized. It is fragmented. Number of middlemen are involved from the point of production to the ultimate consumers. Also, there is an open border of Nepal with India, due to which the farmers of Nepal couldn't compete with the product of India and they could not get the premium price. Hence, they are discouraged to produce a high quality product. The other factor affecting the adoption of gap are the inputs such as the fertilizer, such as the quality seed materials. Also, the climate change also affect the adoption of gap in Nepal. So this is the slide that is pretty much similar to the factor of affecting the adoption of gap in Nepal. And the further literature are also available which have well documented, such as the lack of awareness affect the gap production. Similarly, extension, regulation, market and finance, these factors also affects in the adoption of gap, especially most of the research are from Nepal. So now let's conclude or summarize the presentation. To summarize, the GAP offers a practical solution to major problems like overuse of the pesticide, food safety concerns, low production, low farm income, and many issues that we have discussed ahead. However, in Nepal, the adoption of GAP is very much low. We can improve the adoption by the following measures. First of all, we can expand the market opportunities so that the certified products will get better prices. Number two, technical trainings and skills to farmers that helps in the safe handling of the pesticide and the documentation or the record keeping. Third, strengthening the extension service will help the better outreach to farmers. Fourth, raising awareness in the rural area regarding the value of GAP will help in the increase in the adoption of the GAP. Finally, improving soil fertility using the natural inputs such as biofertilizer and practices such as the mulching. These type of the practices will also help contribute in the adoption of the GAP and improve the yield of the horticulture sector of Nepal.